You're listening to the Tao of Indifference, sex, dating, and relationship advice for an indifferent world. For more advice and tips, check out taoofindifference.com or follow us on Twitter at indifferent_D.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to the Tao of Indifference. I am your host, Demetrius. Today, I am joined by my lovely friend, therapist, TV person. You're a TV personality, right?
Yes, I am.
Emily Roberts. You can find Emily Roberts on Twitter at
Guidance Girl M, and my website is theguidancegirl.com, and I'm so happy to be here. So we're going to be talking about what today, Dee?
We are going to be giving out 10 tips for going on an online date.
The first online date. So guys, you're going to get 10 tips from me. Girls, you're going to get 10 tips from Dee. You're going to have 20 tips in less than 10 minutes, and you're going to be totally set to go on your first online date and feel really badass.
Awesome.
Confident. Yep.
I'm ready to go.
All right, so Dee, what do you got? So we're thinking about this, and I'm thinking, all right, I used to go on online dates, and there were some things that would stand out to me, and I'd be like, oh my God, if I could tell the world what not to do, this would be it. Yeah. And here's our chance, guys. So Dee, for girls, can you give me 5 things you would just say are no-goes?
Absolutely. So the first thing would be when you bring up your ex in any way, whether he was completely crazy or really nice, just don't.
Okay, and so would I do that by saying, like, if I am talking, sorry guys, we're in New York, and sometimes there's sirens, like, all the time there's sirens, so bear with us for a second. Okay, so wait, when you say don't talk about your ex, do you mean, like, what if I do say, like, well, we used to go out on dates, or we used to go here a lot? How should I, like, reframe that if I'm going on our first online date?
First online date, I guess you would reframe it by not necessarily saying that you and your ex, but me and friends, or me and a friend, or I used to go here. I used to go here a lot.
Okay, cool. That's good advice. Good advice.
Second one is, ladies, do not pick the most expensive bar or restaurant. There was no bigger turnoff for me than feeling like this person is trying to use me to experience their most expensive thing that they do.
And as a girl, I will say don't pick the most expensive restaurant as a guy either, because it's uncomfortable to go on a date with somebody that you have no idea. You only know the profile, right? And you've been texting for a little while, perhaps. Pick like a neutral, fun place, right? Yeah. So should the guy pick or the girl pick?
It really depends on where the date happens to be. If I live in Brooklyn, and if I'm going on a date with a girl in Manhattan, I might ask her where she'd prefer to go. If she
neutral ground, kind of something in, somewhere fun that's not too pricey for a first date. I like it too.
Absolutely. Most importantly, do not pretend if you're interested if you're not. That doesn't mean that you need to be rude or reject them in this grand way, but at the end of the day, don't fall into this trip where we develop
How do you know? If someone's pretending, like what are some of the signs?
Well, that's the thing. It's hard to tell if someone's pretending. It's a great point. So they won't know that you're not interested if you're pretending to be interested.
Okay, so some of the ways I think that girls do that are like, yeah, we'll talk again soon, or so good to see you. I'm going to be around town on Friday. Maybe we should meet up then. Don't drop those lines. Just kind of be like, what? What would you suggest?
For me, whenever I had a date that I wasn't interested in, I always ended the date with, "It was great to meet you."
Oh, that's good.
It's great to meet you. Get home safe.
Yes, that's real good. It's great to meet you. Hashtag it was great to meet you.
It was great to meet you.
At indifferent_D. You guys can tweet in that if it works for you. I love it. I love it. Okay, number 4.
Number 4 is never ask him how much money he makes.
Oh my God. You guys don't do that.
You can ask him what he does, and if you're savvy, you can glass door it. But
Sure. But no, I think how much money he makes, or how, what do you do is a fine question to ask, and what do you do, and like how long have you been doing it, and where do you see yourself in 10 years? That's kind of, honestly, it's fishing like a gold digger. Yeah. I've got some Jamie Foxx through my head right now. It's true. Like, and for girls too, when guys ask, like, so what do you do? Like, what's your 401k like? Oh,
yeah, that's uncomfortable. Yeah. But it's good to ask someone, hey, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Because you want to go on a date with someone who can afford to pay for it.
Sure. And if they're not, the other thing too is I have actually gone on dates who are like with guys who are not working right now.
Right.
And it doesn't mean, but it doesn't mean that they're not working right now because they're homeless and they're living on the street. It could be that they're not working right now because they actually had to take a break from their job because their other job won't hire them for like 60 or 90 days until there's competition, or because they got burnt out and they're trying to do something that they want to do. Sure. It doesn't mean that they are living off pennies and working, as one of those people that comes by and takes your, looks through your trash, with the bottles. Yeah. No, it means that they're probably soul searching, and I think that's hot. So be honest, I would say. And if a guy's not working, it doesn't mean he can't take care of you. And if that's what you're looking for, maybe you need to, what?
Reevaluate.
your standards.
What you're looking for,
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
All right. 5th one is show him pictures of children or animals unless he asks for them.
Oh, you mean I can't show all my pictures of my like cousins and my dog? Is that hot? Or does it make you think of like I have a bunch of teddy bears and stuff?
That's a little too much. Like we're venturing into this is what a relationship with me is like.
Yeah.
And it's too soon.
So I totally agree. I really do agree.
It's okay to enjoy talking about these things and want to show them off, but unless someone asks, you just don't bring it up.
You know, and I will say that one of the things that on dating profiles that I would tell guys to avoid too, guys and girls, too many pictures of family. Like, we get it. You are from a family. Like, I understand that. But I also don't need to see every single picture of your niece and nephew with you, or you with your mom, or you with your dad, or you with your great grandma Bess, whatever. Like, that's a lot. That's like, I know you want to be in a relationship likely, but that's a lot of pressure for a first date. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think a good minimum is one. You've got one.
Good.
If you've got
like
10 pictures and you have one with like your favorite niece or nephew, that's fine.
But sometimes we might think that's your kid.
Yes. That actually used to happen to me a lot because I had a picture of my niece.
So you learned the hard way.
I learned the hard way.
Okay, so 5 things not to do from my perspective. So this is for you guys, males. And you know, females also, I would say this could be good for you too. So one of the biggest turnoffs, I think, and one of the things that I would say not to do on a first date is to say you have something going on later, or be like, I only have 2 hours, or make it time restraint, because that makes me anxious. It gives me pressure. It also means that you didn't think that we were going to hook up later. Yeah. And you know what? Now I know I'm not going to.
You're limiting yourself.
You're limiting yourself, and you're also kind of showing me that I'm not important, or I feel like I'm not important. I feel like 2 hours.
Amount of time.
Great. I only have 2 hours. That doesn't mean I don't have better things to do, but I also allocated time for you too.
Yeah.
Jerk. But in all honesty, it puts pressure on the date, and there's already enough pressure on a first date. Yeah. The second thing, I'm going to agree with Dee on this one, is talk about an ex. I don't care if you just moved out the day before. Talk to your therapist, not to me. And even though I am a therapist, I'm not yours. Otherwise, the state would be costing you a lot of money. Yeah. Fact. And it shouldn't cost you a lot of money. So talking about your ex and how you used to live together and how you just went through a breakup, or how you used to go to X, Y, or Z. I am now all of a sudden not attracted to you as much because I'm now having to counsel you. Yeah. Right? The third would be, I was debating on the third here, but one of the things is talking bad about people. But what I mean about that is about people that are in the surrounding area. If you're like, that guy's a jerk, or oh my gosh, using racist terms, or saying like, oh my God, this guy's so slow, or waiter is such a dick, or whatever you're going to say. Oh my God, I'm already like feeling a negative vibe from you. No, thank you. Yeah. Right? I don't want to have to like defend people I don't know in front of you.
Yeah. I think I would add to that not only the people around you, but also like the people in their lives. Like, oh, my friends are dicks. You know, like that never, it's because it's like you want to defend people naturally, but you don't even know them. And you're kind of.
I went on a date with a guy once who was talking about the last girl he went on a date with. And I don't know her, and I don't know what his intention necessarily was from this, but he was like, oh my God, she was, and he just started kind of trash talking her. Yeah. And in my mind, what did I think? He's probably going to do the same to me. It didn't make me want to go home with you. It really didn't. And I didn't go home with him. Yeah. The fourth one is don't talk too much at the same time. So one of the things you learn in TV, as Dee said, sometimes I'm on the Dr. Drew show, and one of the tips that I've learned is when you're responding to people, you want to do it in short 30-second to 1-minute intervals. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go practice. Actually, you know what? Practice at home if you can. Yeah. What is your response when someone says, what do you want to do when you grow up? Or where's the best place you travel? Practice, because even though I'm a little ADD, even if you're not ADD, do you want to listen to me talk about like my college experience for an hour and a half or like for 30 seconds? Because that's a conversation, right? So 30 seconds to a minute, maximum a minute on the same topic. Sure. Also, I guess the fifth one for me is don't talk too much about work. I want to know that you have hobbies. I want to know you have a life outside of your job. Even if your job is super fascinating and you're freaking Ryan Seacrest or whoever you are. Not that I'd go on a date with Ryan Seacrest, but he's pretty fascinating. Yeah. And what you do, like, that's really great. But who are you besides your work? Yeah. Who are you besides your work? I want to know that I'm going out with somebody who's got more than just his 9 to 5 or 9 to 9. You know, he has other interests and stuff like that. When you talk all about work, it makes me think that I'm never going to see you if we go on a second or third date or get in a relationship, because all you're doing is working. Work can be important. You know, I work all the time. Yeah. But I also don't talk about it like it's the only thing I've got going on in my life.
You've got to have something else.
You've got to have a balance. So those are our 5 not to do's. So 10 not to do's. In our next podcast, which you can get in just a few minutes, or you can get on your podcast page. And what do you do?
You can hear the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher if you subscribe. You can also find the podcast on Podomatic. It's valveindifference.podomatic.com. I also post episodes on my website, DalvinDifference.com.
And I will be posting this one on mine, which is guidancegirl.com. On our next, or the guidancegirl.com. The next one we're going to have, which will be the next one after this, is the things to do on a date to make sure it's a success and feel confident and look confident. We're going to have 10 things.
All right.
Okay, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Good luck out there. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Tao of Indifference podcast. If you liked this episode and want more sex, dating, and relationship advice, subscribe to the Tao of Indifference on iTunes or Stitcher. Follow us on Twitter at indifferent_D and check out the blog at taoofindifference.com for more sex, dating, and relationship advice. Thank you for listening and good luck out there.